All right, this is the cold open. We're in it. Lovett is ordering lunch. He hasn't done it Panda Express.
Yeah, baby.
Nice.
Love it.
You're really on a roll.
I think what doctors say you should do is eat one big terrible meal a day and make it Panda Express at 2 p.m.
Yeah. Welcome to Terminally Online, the Crooked Subscription Show. I'm Elijah Cohn.
I'm Jon Lovett.
I'm Caroline Dunphy.
And I'm Malcolm Whitfield.
This is a chance.
I'm sorry, are you a reporter?
I was like a little bit trying to give that.
Really good. It was really good.
This is a chance for us to commiserate about being way too online as we make the shows here at Crooked Media and cover the news. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hey.
Here.
Elijah
Hey.
in the flesh.
I'm
It's
so excited.
throwing me off. It really is.
Can you believe he's in 3D? He has skin and bones and everything.
It's
Yes.
weirding me out. It feels weird being here.
Hey, there are bones in there.
Yeah, can't you believe we're all skeletons under the skin?
It's AI. Go on, touch. Nah, don't.
Touch him.
He's there.
That is
He's
cool.
there. I poked him.
Let's start with some audience questions. Love it.
Yep.
Gex wants to know how you feel about Pepsi or Coke Zero versus Diet Coke. The only reason this question made the prep doc is I know you have a take.
Yeah, so I prefer Diet Coke because it is better and it is the best. Diet Coke, Heinz ketchup, these are not the best version of a food. They are the platonic ideal of the food. Other things can't be better by being different. They can only be worse or different by being different. The goal of ketchup is to be Heinz ketchup. The goal of a diet brown cola with no calories or nutritional value is to be Diet Coke.
This is why certain regions of the country just call soda Coke.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
No one, they don't say like in Rhode Island, like, hey, let me get a pib.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
And I do think I don't mind the proliferation. I enjoy the like I like that there are people who like their Coke Zeros.
Sure.
They're zero sugar Pepsis now. There was Pepsi One for a while. Didn't hate it. I like may a thousand flowers bloom, but I will be always with the silver can. You know.
I'm
the original.
Diet Coke fountain, Diet Pepsi in a can. Diet Pepsi tastes better in a can. Diet Cokes taste incredible from a fountain. It's cured every hangover I've ever had.
I want to add one hot take to this, which is one thing that did really bother me is when they started rolling out Coke Zero. It was like always like Coke Zero, the 0-calorie soda that's not for fags. Not like this other one. Not like this one for fucking drag queens and cocksuckers. This is for men watching football. It comes in a red can like what a man would drink from. It's cool to have it. Don't worry. No one will think you're wearing women's underwear under there if you have a Coke Zero. Only the Diet Coke. The drink of the effete, of theater goers and Jews. Don't worry about it.
just sprinkle that one in there.
That bothered me a little bit in terms of their marketing.
Well, sure.
But I enjoy a Coke Zero as much as the next person.
There's a little bit of self-loathing in that.
Can I say that was like
No.
a flawless Coke Zero ad.
That was great. It's just like
All right,
Coke
Haley, there's
Zero.
your other clip. I love being in studio. I love watching Vasilis walk over, hearing people chatting so loudly outside the studio like they don't work at a fucking podcast company, and him just doing the most ineffective little turn on the recording light, this tiny little light that no one is going to respect out there. It's so thrilling in person. We're just sitting with the
thrilling
number
to
one
watch
offender.
Vasilis get no
I am the number
respect.
one
Yes,
offender. I have
exactly.
disrupted so many pod recordings that I have absolutely no regrets. I know I know I'm a personality
That's
hire.
a
podcast.
I am-
daring the company to do
I am
something.
a personality hire. I have no fear.
You dance like no one's watching, talk like nobody's recording.
Yes.
Moving
that's
on
me.
to a question from Jared. I'm just excited to see how this one goes. Malcolm, how would you describe your relationship with Lovett? It seems like you get the short end of the stick.
Oh,
What?
I'll tell this to.
what
This is what I
Jared
say
says.
to everybody who asks me what it's like. Jon Lovett is my best friend. That is what I say to everyone. He's a brotherly presence in my life.
That's nice.
I see myself as a pseudo father figure to him as well. That's how I feel about us, our relationship.
I think
And
it-
that's why
yeah.
it's like obviously Malcolm is a colleague. He is also a brother father. And that's like such a special thing that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's, yeah.
Yeah, and I think people get the sense of that every time I chime in on the show. They're like, oh, there goes their brother father son relationship.
The brother.
The brothers.
The brother relationship.
I hope that clears up the short end of the stick part of the question, Jared.
Oh yeah.
Let's go to Terminally Online. Jon, what's the moment you realized that you were too online this week?
So this isn't actually this is something that I saw bubbling up, and I feel like I was completely ahead of, because when I saw it, I believe I messaged Elijah
And producer
and
Fiona. Yeah, producer Fiona.
I messaged you both right away, and I just said, sitting is the opposite of standing. If you don't know yet, you soon will.
And I didn't.
But now, do you?
Since you told me, because I got it wrong, yeah. I thought it was discourse.
I can't get it out of my
Like
head.
is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes,
type
exactly.
thing? Yeah.
Yes. And since then, it has taken over my feed. It is by this comedy writer and actor named Brian Jordan Alvarez, who's incredibly funny all the time, but basically made this character, and then this character sang this song, sitting is the opposite of standing. And you know how in the movie Bird Box, which we all, of course, loved because Netflix made everyone watch it
First
one
person
day?
Think
to
about
mention
frequently.
Bird Box in 3 years.
We all remember the cultural legacy of the
yeah.
Sandra Bullock movie and
Bird
Netflix
Box.
super hit Bird Box, which, of course, as we all remember, is about an illness you get through your eyeballs one random day. And anyway, this song is the Bird Box of videos, in that once you see it, it makes your eyes go big, and then you're singing it to yourself over and over and over again, and there is no cure. It is fatal. I'm still singing it. I sing it every single day.
Sitting is the opposite of standing. Sitting is the opposite of running around. And sitting is a wonderful thing to do because you sitting. Sitting is the opposite of standing on your head. Sitting is the opposite of hanging from a barber. Sitting is a wonderful thing to do. I got one thing to say. I think that sitting is something that people say it is bad, but you know that sitting is actually good because you deserve to relax. It's kind of like a nap, it's kind of like something else, but it is actually just sitting.
Sitting is the opposite of standing. It's kind of like a nap, but it's also kind of like something else. Some people say that sitting is something that isn't good, but I think they're wrong. Sitting is good because everyone deserves to relax.
So those are the
Damn.
lyrics of the song.
As you just spoke those lyrics, Fiona
His
was
eyes
over
rolled
there.
back
They
in
were
his
like just like grooving to the idea of that song.
They just told me in the kitchen they couldn't get it out of their head,
Yeah,
and
that-
now we're talking about
They
it.
showed
It's
me
true.
this morning.
They've been bird boxed.
I don't get it.
Do you get
It's an
you don't
earworm.
get it like you don't understand it, or you don't get it like you literally haven't gotten it on your feed? Because I literally have not gotten it on my feed.
I haven't gotten it on my feed. I'm only exposed to it through other people posting it on like Twitter or telling me or trying to get me to listen to it. And I saw like the first part of it. It didn't.
It's not for you.
It's not for me, and that's
It's
fine.
not for you.
That's
and like
fine.
what I really find interesting about it too is it's like there is like obviously between our algorithms there's like a fuzzy boundary where like there's things that we're all gonna see, or like there's some overlap between us. But for whatever reason, either sitting is the opposite of standing is something you could not avoid. It came for you and it wanted inside of your mind, or you've never heard of it. It's not crossing the like straight gay blood brain barrier of the internet. So now we've seen that and you've seen it, but you don't understand, like maybe that's what you saw first. A lot of people didn't. I didn't. That's not what I saw first. I saw a cover.
Was that the first one?
That is the original.
That's the OG.
That is the first example.
That's the Bird Box.
the urtext.
Yeah.
That is the Bird Box. But within minutes, it was being covered. People felt a compulsion to
Yeah, I'm
go to their
in awe of how quick the internet is with that.
Well,
fucking
Okay.
rules.
Well, we've all sung that song just walking around our houses absentmindedly. Maybe not literally that song, but we've all sung like that song.
that kind of song. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
also can't wait for like the next DJ or Diplo to remix that and have a bunch of people trip face and go, "This is the best song that has ever been created."
Yeah.
I think it would hit the top 100.
I also think there's something about it. It's like it's also like it is about discourse because it's like, hey, like there are people telling you not to sit. There are people telling you not to take a break, but sitting is a good thing to do.
Yeah.
You deserve to relax. Like listen, here's the thing. It's against hustle culture, and it's
It
part
is.
of it too. All right, that was my. Oh, sorry.
It's against capitalism. Also, I think it's interesting that lap only exists if you're sitting down.
I might not get this video in that, like, I don't think it's like that entertaining. It sort of annoys me, but I can't help but agree with it. Sitting is the opposite of standing.
And it is kind of like a nap, but it's also like something else.
Have you ever
but
talked
it's just
to
sitting?
Have you ever talked to somebody where it's like you're like, oh, do you want to sit? And they're like, oh no, I sit all day. And I'm like,
Right.
yeah, that rules.
That sounds
Come
great.
do some more of it.
Yes, please.
I've never not wanted to sit.
I've always
You seem like
wanted
a
to sit
sitting
down.
kind of
I'm
guy.
a
You
sitter.
seem like a
This
sitting
is the
kind of
first
guy.
time I've ever seen your legs, like in general.
I don't need to think about that anymore. But thank you for pointing that out.
So
course, yeah.
before we render our judgment on how online you are, you've been seeing this consistently for 2 weeks, and there's no improvement in your condition of seeing it.
I thought if I learned the song in full, that it might help. It didn't help. And I could sing it in full from beginning to end, but I won't. But I could.
Yeah, you did.
And
You did do it. You did.
I could sing it beginning to end. And I saw Brian Jordan Alvarez in The World, and I accosted him about this problem. And
I'm sure he loved it.
yeah, well, he just said, haha, thanks.
And,
He was very supportive. I like him. He's funny about it, but he must be getting this all the time.
and we don't want to give it away, but that moment is what created Sitting is the Opposite of Standing, the musical. Crooked's first musical coming out. We've been teasing it for a while now, but
Yeah.
Happy
this
to
is the
announce
big
it.
reveal. Marketing has 10 meetings to discuss the rollout.
Yes.
Exactly.
coming up.
We've been going out to talent. Leslie Odom Jr. has
Yep.
blocked me, so
it's great.
we're
that's-
on next.
Yeah.
So your terminal.
So it's a no from Leslie. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're terminal.
For sure.
I think, and you're not dead, but you're a bird box zombie. You're
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
functional.
Oh, that's
you're
good.
you're a shell who exists to
You're definitely
open other
contagious.
people's eyes.
You're definitely contagious.
Sure.
Oh God, it's happening to us right now.
Everyone, get your blindfolds.
Anyone
Get
disagree? He's 5. He's terminal for this.
I think he is severely ill
And
and a 5.
and if you're saying, wait, I know about this. I'm sorry, you've been bird boxed already yourself.
You've been bird boxed.
That's the verb for what happens
Great,
when your eyes
great
go
title.
crazy, right?
You've been bird boxed.
Bird
Caroline.
box with an apostrophe D.
When were you two online this week?
Okay, so Malcolm and I famously
Yeah.
love Christian TikTok.
Famously.
We're in
Famously.
like different avenues
There's
of
a-
it, but it always comes back to Christian TikTok.
And we found that in our Christian TikTok love, that our two algorithms overlapped in the reaction of Christian TikTok to Doja Cat's new music video
yeah.
called Demons. I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, should we?
But let's roll the
watch
first
it.
clip.
Doja Cat sold her soul? Watch this. Doja Cat lately has had drastic transformations. From this to her recent album cover where she's drenched in blood. In the most drastic downward spiral of any black female performer, she's dancing with the Grim Reaper. To singing that she's the Lord of Demons. The devil wants many to go to hell and he's using many artists to do so. Spiritual warfare is real, but you know who else is real? Jesus, and there's power in him and him alone. See, the devil knows his time is short. And he's using many artists as demonic influences. Give your life to Jesus. The signs are all around us that he's coming back. Comment below, my soul belongs to Jesus. Watch the video, pin in my comments, and subscribe right now.
What? But you also, at the end of that, he says, like, listen and subscribe, like, comment below, like,
Comment
Like-
below, my soul
Soul-
belongs
Yeah. Look to
to
Jesus.
just to get the
Well,
engagement.
it's to reserve your ticket to heaven. First
Right.
of all, that's what you got to reserve your.
When you get up there,
Right.
Peter says,
Yeah.
you didn't comment.
You know, a lot of people don't know. Jesus is exclusively watching this guy's TikToks.
yes, absolutely. So, like, I guess a bunch of fans I guess a bunch of Christians have
Yeah.
watched this music video and now believe that because she is, like dressed up as
like
a demon,
wearing red and stuff,
that
or like
she
doing
has
like.
sold her soul to Satan. And this next clip
Yeah.
hits a little close to home because it's a podcast clip.
Mm-hmm.
So, Fiona, whenever you're ready, cue this one up. 'cause
Podcast clip watching podcast.
This
clips.
one's
Getting coffee.
Doja Cat being a demon.
Yeah, the music video is pretty bad.
It's so demonic.
It's literally her in a female demon outfit with the devil behind her, posing for like a family photo.
Anybody who's a Satanist, like the satanic church, like the rule is like you can't hide it. You have to show it, whether it's in jokes or it's in your art. It's clear that that's what they're pushing. And I think over the last handful of years, I think you can even see the increase of the overt pushing of these messages from the music industry, which is crazy. You know what's wild though is scripture talks about how there's principalities in high places of power, which what does that mean? It basically means that like there's principalities, there's demonic forces that are in charge of things, that are in government, that are in high industry, that are in high business. So it's not a surprise that the gates of hell will not prevail against Christ's church.
Questions with Caden, available everywhere.
You missed an opportunity to not make it questions with Caden, but Caden's also with a Q. That was a missed opportunity right there.
Absolutely. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here, but I think that what we love the most is the gotcha journalism, which is like
aha, we found out.
We found out, even though she's clearly doing it in the music video, where it's just like, there, right there, she dressed as a demon. That means she sold herself to the devil. It doesn't really make any sense.
It's not so much of big. It's like they're not hidden symbols or anything.
Right.
It's not like a wink to the camera. She's dressed as the devil and the song's called Demons. Like, it's not like... It's not shrouded in mystery.
It's like the worst version of investigative reporting, where it's like it's giving Judge Jeanine Pirro, where it's just like, there, right there. And it's like... like I think, what does he say? He said something like, spiritual warfare is real and so is Jesus. It's like, spiritual warfare is real and so is water. Like, there it is in the ocean. She sold herself to the devil.
So the terminally online is the investigators who are talking about this thing, like it's like grainy Bigfoot footage.
Exactly.
And it's like, here's someone dressing up like a demon, like
like
there. That's
right
a reference
there.
to the devil.
Like
right
they're
there.
redacted CIA articles about it.
Yeah, it's like we found proof. We found proof of 9/11.
Exactly.
It's right there.
It's just like in Harry Potter when they're like, you're a wizard, Harry. They're like, there, right there.
Yeah, it's like...
He sold himself to witchcraft and wizardry.
Well, I'm interested in the, like, okay, so hold on. Just let me back up, sir.
Okay.
I'm trying to follow your logic here. If you are a Satanist, you're not allowed to hide it. So if you go and put on a demon costume and perform with a devil actor, that's because you're a Satanist. But also, in the highest parts of levels of power, there are secret forces that don't have to show it.
Yeah.
So here's what we have learned. When someone pretends to be the devil, that's because they're Satanist. When someone doesn't pretend to be the devil, that's also because they are
They're
Satanists.
Satanists. Okay, you're catching on. You get it now.
Yeah, so it seems like a tough thing to rebut.
It's a bit of a lose-lose situation if you're a Satanist.
I specifically focus on the fact that like these videos and like all the other ones we watched see it as concrete proof that Doja Cat and other artists have sold their soul to the devil. In which case, how do you know, what does selling your soul to the devil mean? What does it consist of? How do they know the rules for it? And like, where do you find the paperwork for that? Like, what are we?
Okay, so let me just think about this. So Doja Cat went to the devil and said, "Hey,
Right.
I would like to be a megastar.
Yeah.
What do I need to do?" And it was like, "Okay, first we're gonna build your career, and I'm not even gonna come up."
Yeah, I was gonna say, because it's like she already has a Grammy at this
She's
point.
a
Like, who else is
platinum
doing it like her?
selling artist.
Yeah.
She's already a superstar.
She has a Guinness World Record. Like
So
she
we'll
has
do
all
that
of
first,
this.
and we're gonna establish it. But here's the price.
Right.
At some point, I will come to you with an idea for a music video, and you have to do
as
it.
a creative
called
director.
Demon.
And it's
Right.
called Demon, and
Right.
basically that's what it's about. It's about how much you like demons and stuff, and that's when everyone's gonna find out about our deal, and that's the trade. And okay, maybe
The way you're phrasing it makes sense. If you were going to do it as the devil, you wouldn't start with demon.
I guess.
Oh, man.
I mean, I don't know.
Elijah's
I might.
getting sucked into the propaganda.
You're getting Doja pilled. You're getting Doja pilled, man.
why is the person that they're worried about made a deal with the devil never a non-famous Royal Dutch Shell executive?
It's only ever like top selling rappers and
Yep.
musicians that they are like, oh, the devil.
They also came after Denzel Washington recently, and who else
For
did
what?
he?
There were like some other videos like, here's some other people who sold their soul to the demon. Rihanna has changed, and Demi Lovato has changed, and only they showed before and after pictures, probably like months apart, but now they're wearing red, and that means they sold their soul to the devil.
Remember when
Clear
Demi
cut.
Lovato went hard at some frozen yogurt place for having a sugar-free option? It ruled.
That
Oh,
sounds
yeah, that's
awesome.
pretty
I will
missed
say
that one.
Incredible. It
Demi,
was incredible.
Demi Lovato on their ghost hunting show, which
Oh, yeah, that's
again
gold.
is an insane sentence, sang to ghosts, and I feel like that speaks more to selling your soul to the devil.
Right.
Right?
Well, they can heal trauma of ghosts.
And all the ghosts want is to hear Demi Lovato's latest single.
Yep.
Not even they don't want to hear Cool for the Summer.
I
They
was
want to
going
hear
to say
what's
they
up
just want
now.
an acoustic Cool for the Summer.
So how
And
did you
then they
guys-
can go to their final resting place.
So how'd you guys discover the shared interest in Christian conspiracy
The
theories?
podcast clip came up for me. And I think the third column of this argument is the right-wing propaganda arm of all these like content creators is actually what is actually the most terrifying because one, Elijah, you bought into the logic. That's
It's so
exactly what we're
fast, too.
trying to
You bought in so
avoid.
quickly, having seen two
And they
clips
have
of videos.
so many of these people making videos like this all the time. Like that podcast one is the first thing that I tipped off and I sent to Malcolm like, what is this? Like this looks, the production value is good. They have an end card. Like they have this clean, concise
Vasilis
product.
is producing that one as well.
And we don't have
the
anything
best.
like that on our side. And it's what's interesting is like you can have like RFK doing a weird backflip and everyone goes, that guy looks like a doofus. But then you'll see these content creators are like, wow, they have their stuff together. Like you can get bought into that logic more. There's a huge propaganda war, and that's why Malcolm and I want to proudly claim as Crooked Media's first Satanists, we are the devil.
No. They had a fucking pre-planned thing. All right. I'm giving you 4 out of 5.
Dunphy was so sure.
I
Dunphy was
love
so
doing
convinced
this.
that was
My
the
mom
bit we had
recently
to do.
found out she can't do it. She keeps going like this.
Well, she's very close.
She's like,
Well, that's because she's not a Satanist.
she's not a Satanist.
That's
Yeah.
she's
Yeah,
pure.
4 seems appropriate.
4 seems right.
Hospital.
Hospital.
Going down the
Hospital.
conspiracy theories, but they're
Hospital.
not even,
Hospital.
the good
That's
ones. So, my terminally online this week, moving
Let's
on,
hear it.
is about RFK Jr.
Mm-hmm.
He is a presidential candidate. He's running for the Democratic nominee.
I
Democratic
delivered the
nominee.
Panda Express to my fucking house.
oh God!
Oh, no.
Oh my God!
He's got a picture on his phone right now.
Show it. Show it. Show the
Thing on the
photo.
stoop. No, the GeoGuessr guy will see it and take
Oh
it. but,
God!
yeah.
He's gonna
My
find
God.
you.
Oh.
Devastating. You want to take a second to reorder?
No, he needs to
That
have.
is so
Let him have a
annoying.
meltdown
He's having a little
first.
deep
Let him.
breath.
Just go. I'm just.
Let him-
We're doing.
Just
Back to one, everybody. Hey,
Don't-
Panda Express, back to one. That was a rehearsal. We're going again, Panda. We're going
I feel
again.
sick for you right now.
Fucking insane. It's sitting there.
Devastating.
Peeled off the back.
It's
All
a
right,
disaster here in
Come on,
studio.
platform
All
mode
right.
anti-vaxxer. Let's go.
Okay. RFK Jr. He's running for the Democratic nominee for president. He's actually probably going to be a spoiler to Trump. More on that later. But what happened this week is he wanted to release a video thanking his supporters. And so he released the clip that we're about to watch, which is him doing a backflip off of a 15-foot cliff into some water. Let's take a look. Okay, you guys ready?
The music's so
As
funny.
if someone just got told they're going to Hollywood on American Idol.
Right?
Talk about the flip first, because we'll talk about the video and how the video was made and produced, but the flip.
Giving it a 5.4.
He clearly panicked mid-flip.
The flip
He
is
clearly was like, his feet were over his head, and he goes, "Whoa, we gotta go back to the front! Whoa, 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 whoa!"
you see people with their feet on the edge of a cliff about to do a backflip, and you're expecting, having seen so many of these, like one of those almost slow motion, beautiful gainers with a zero splash.
You gotta
This
go-
was
yeah.
not that. He went off a weird angle. His legs and arms were in like every direction.
It seems like this was his first time doing
He
it.
did go all all the way around, but that flip sucks. And now I have people like Tommy Vietor being like, oh, it was impressive for a 66-year-old to be able to flip. No, the flip sucks. If you're going to post a video of you flipping, do a good fucking flip.
I agree.
Tommy,
flip was bad
take. That was a bad take. And that's why I want to volunteer Tommy to also backflip off a cliff and see
there
if
we
he
go.
can
Let's
do
see
it
what
as
he
good
can
as
do.
RFK.
Famously 64-year-old Tommy Vietor.
Yeah, I want him to age 4 decades and then do it.
So here's what I think people are missing about the RFK backflip. It's not about whether it's good or bad. I actually agree with Tommy. That's good for a person of his age.
You were in the comments going, I'd like to see Biden do that.
Jesus.
But here's what I think people are missing. Here's what I see when I see RFK Jr. doing this. It's not that it's good or bad. It's that it's a rich man's backflip. It's the backflip of a man who has been vacationing and summering. It is the backflip of a man who fucking summers. Yeah. And it has a carefree, effortless, I have been going to the most beautiful and warm East Coast summer waters since before I have a memory. And I have been backflipping and jumping and throwing balls in the air and catching them and trying to win the approval of some family elder, making little boys compete against each other since I was a toddler. And that is what I see in that. I see a dilettante and I see a threat to democracy.
That is spot on, because in one of the angles, you see a bunch of rich people cliffside houses.
Right.
So he spent a lot of time on 15-foot cliffs overlooking pristine water. Thank you for
that was beautiful.
distilling that, because that's a key part of that video.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Was this like, you know how like people be like on Patreon and be like, hey, if I get like 2,000 subscribers, I'll do a was there a point that he was trying to get to before he did the backflip? Like, were people donating to get him to that point? Or did he decide that, you know what my followers and what my voters would love to see?
Yeah, what's the logic of the flip?
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to see the pre-production of that. Did he want to do it?
Was
his
it
team
his-
like, this is great? My
Right.
question is, let's just do another, sometimes on the show we do content consultations. I love a content consultation.
Sure.
You?
Yeah, let's do a content consultation.
Dunphy, yeah, you do.
We'll do it together.
Okay, let's do it together. Let's do it together.
Someone, another best practice is, shoot vertical, shoot on your phone. If you're going to shoot vertical and shoot on your phone, just have it be an unbroken clip. This editing with the music and the sound effects and everything, it's not like a cool, backflip. All of a sudden, it's this weird, uncanny
It's parodied
sweepstakes
on itself.
thing. Yeah, exactly.
The problem is when you package something too much, it ends up looking satirical.
It does. It looks satirical.
It looks satirical, and it makes me sad because it makes me go, oh, were they trying to actually end up looking stupid
Like
so
heroic.
that they would end up looking funny and it
Yeah.
would get people's attention? Or I would not like to give anyone that much credit. Maybe they are just that stupid. That's what I'd like to believe.
I would go the opposite way. I would keep that same level of production, but I would build on it. I would tell like a little story at the beginning, just to be like, hey, just as a thank you, like cue people up so they know what's gonna happen, and like even milk the fact that it's like, this is my first backflip. Just really garner some sort of sympathy.
My name's Steve-O and
Give
I
a
hate that
story.
lamp, so I'm gonna jump into the lamp.
Give me story, give me context, give me like a reason to root for you backflipping into this lake.
I met a little boy on the campaign
Yeah.
trail. He always dreamt of doing a backflip, but Biden's policies,
There you go.
no backflips in
Boom.
Biden's America.
Nope.
I'm doing this backflip for that kid in Iowa. That
Yeah.
kid, that was me.
I met a single mom.
Yeah. And then Bruce Springsteen starts playing.
I was going to say, you do a political show.
Hell yeah.
Do you think he's more of a spoiler as a third-party candidate to Trump than to Biden?
No, I think that he is a threat to democracy. And I think that any third-party candidate in a world where there is a lot of disaffection and cynicism is one that is more likely to benefit Trump. I mean, look, you can squint your eyes and hope, but I think we should assume that other than like a true conservative Trump challenge as an independent, we should assume that anyone on the outside is splitting the anti-Trump vote.
Damn, threw cold water on that hope real quick.
Yeah, speaking of jumping into cold water.
Yeah.
I love ending Terminally Online on such a high note.
Hey, don't worry. We still have the advice
I think
column.
the exact opposite. More third parties, and I want them to do stuff like this. I want to see Jill Stein do the worm. That's what I want.
I would love
I want
to see Jill Stein do the worm.
Cornell West do one of those like ramen challenges, where it's just like a fucking like a
mukbang.
Where you can like win a T-shirt for eating like a 72-ounce porterhouse.
Yeah, just eat. Yeah, like I just want to see. Yeah, Cornell West is gonna take down 5 beef ribs.
We need more of this with our third party. This is how you get the third party slot. This is how you should do it.
Just just like RFK Jr. at the top of a hill in a shopping cart.
Yeah.
Being like, hey, if we elect Trump, this idiot will let go.
Yeah. It is fun. It's a fun video. Sir, we know it will make you look presidential. Botched backflip.
I think it's great.
So what makes this like like? Have you been like? Is it just the number of times you've rewatched this?
Such an
Have you been
important
like,
question.
Yeah.
like diving deep into the RFK campaign?
I think
because of
anything
this?
about RFK and his campaign is a little bit too online right then and there.
I agree.
We went and made content out of it on the Crooked
is
Media
true.
page, made a little meme.
You're
To make a serious point about this, there really is a connection between your concerns about like Christian
propaganda.
conspiracy theory TikTok going after Doja Cat and the fact that RFK Jr. can potentially launch a cynical, empty, information-free, dangerous third-party campaign, and it has the potential to like upend our democracy because there is so much noise, and there are so many ways for people who have nothing but nonsense that's fun and interesting or enraging to offer. There's enough ways for that to get in front of enough people at a time when people like there was a study that came out today that showed that like that Twitter and other social media platforms are just sending fewer and fewer people to actual news. There are fewer people are leaving those places to click on the links to go to the news stories. So what does that mean? That means people's information diet is just getting worse and worse and worse. It is the mischaracterization of the headline, which mischaracterized the article, an article no one will ever read. It's 10 seconds from a Biden interview taken out of context, or 10 seconds of Trump being at his kookiest but not most dangerous. And like we just don't have an answer right now. We have to fight it, and we can hopefully. It's like we can't stop it. We can only hope to contain it. Something I learned from sports. And
That's good.
Yeah, bend over.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
and that's
Love it.
that's where I'll leave you.
Damn, we got to get this guy his Panda Express because once he saw it was at his doorstep, the vibes just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like we've been
It's
getting a
true.
lot of wrap it up signs.
like
for
The
this.
XY axis of his lunch
Yeah, you
and
can see the
his
time code.
diatribes.
I was like watching it get closer and closer, and I was like, I think democracy's got a shot. And then I saw the picture of my front door at home, and I was like, that's it, folks. Build a bunker. It's over.
Everything's
RFK's
going
gonna
wrong.
win. Everything's fucked.
All right, so how online am I?
You didn't really take it too far. I'm gonna say you're a 3.
I was going to say a 3 or a 2.
I would say 2. I would
Okay.
go on and say 2. Like I
2.
think you got like the effect of like the common cold that's going around.
Yeah, stop doing these
It sounds
political
like you
ones.
just saw this tweet in one of our Slack channels and you said, this seems like my terminally online clip.
No,
false.
no,
I saw it
support
and
you.
brought it. I'm the one who knocks.
brought it
I
forward.
brought.
Okay, as
the-
long as you're the one that put it in said
Yeah,
Slack
yeah.
channel.
Elijah's the one who fucking knocks everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't you forget it.
So Lovett
You
was.
can't surprise Elijah with the internet. Because
Elijah.
hey, who's that under your bed? It's Elijah
Yeah.
with the internet.
Everyone pray to your sleep paralysis news demon, Elijah.
So Lovett was a 5 for sitting his standing bird box. Malcolm and Caroline were 4 for demonic Doja Cat, and no one is doing it like her. Let's be honest.
No one.
It's true.
And I was a 2, just a 2 for RFK Jr.'s backflip. We'll post that clip in the Discord because it really is a delight to watch. Let's end with the advice column. Let's see how this one goes.
Oh boy.
Urban Vole wants to know,
Love that.
Yes.
Love
Okay.
that.
Good.
Yes.
Like Batman.
Sick, dude.
I love that.
how does one shake imposter syndrome?
Asking 3 comedians that?
Yeah. Anyone want to give a quick and easy answer for that?
Well, I would say you probably don't because I do think that you might not be as talented as you actually think. So maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's an important point.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people don't realize that. Maybe you are an imposter.
I think you have enough false...
Lean in.
Yeah.
Lean in.
I think you have enough false confidence to mask your imposter syndrome, and then you're just this buoyant, loud person that's just bouncing around from space to space.
Are you saying this to everyone? Boy, you're staring at me.
Thinking that you're going to build some sort of...
Both Malcolm and Dumpy said this as if to the world, but just locked in on Elijah's
I'm really,
eyes.
speaking for a friend.
A friend, yeah.
No, I think you just have enough confidence to mask that. It never goes away. And you should have a good dose of it. Because you're probably not that... You're not the shit. And everyone should know it. Not just you, Elijah. I'm not speaking only to you, I promise.
Staring at me, yeah.
Well, I'm not used to having you in studio. And
it is weird. Normally, we could just stare at the monitor and you won't know that we're looking at you.
He's really got these warm brown eyes, folks, for the people at home. He's got these warm brown eyes.
I didn't even know Elijah had eyes until you said that. On the topic of imposter syndrome, I think what's cool about imposter syndrome is the only people that don't have it are fucking sociopaths.
Right.
Or true narcissists with a level of not just performative arrogance, which some of us may use to get through podcast recordings live and in studio, but actual serious, almost pathological belief in their own abilities. Everybody's making it up. Everybody's trying to figure it out as they go. Everybody thinks that what they say is much worse than what actually came out. I finished so many recordings where I'm just like, is this the one we're putting out today? All the time. And I think sometimes it's because I didn't do that great of a job because I'm a person. But I also think it's so often, and this is I think a problem with social media, and I think these things are connected too. There's a reason that social media is where people go to perform their best selves and hide their worst selves or hide the parts of themselves they don't think are good. And it's where people go over and over again to assume that everything that happens in the world is not just bumbling oafs making mistakes, but some kind of conspiracy or rational explanation. It's the idea that oh, you think you're the only one who's a moron careening through existence, unable to get through the day without fucking 5 things up and constantly feeling like tomorrow's the day is the day I get my arms around this thing called being alive? No.
Elijah.
Every single fucking person.
Elijah.
I'm really getting stared at right now.
And I think that's a kind of a nice thing. And then and so we all have it, except for the worst of us. And are you the worst of us? No, because you asked this question. Even though Malcolm and Caroline think you should trust that instinct.
I think it's
think
good to have a dose of it.
I agree. I think like any other human emotion, there is a place for it, and maybe not to the extremes, but I see it as almost an awareness that sort of helps to keep you grounded and keep you in touch with what's working for the world at large, especially if you are in a creative field. I don't think it's something you need to lean into, but I do think that it's healthy, and it does, like Lovett said, mean that you're not the worst.
And it comes from a place of you wanting to be better.
Yeah.
And I think everyone can always be better, be best.
Yeah. I thought it would have been great if Hitler had a little bit of imposter syndrome.
Why would you even throw that in?
You know what?
That's what I was thinking the whole
We
time.
really had this nice
I'm sorry. I just have never heard this take before, which
Me
is,
neither.
Hey, remember World War II? Do you ever realize it was a problem of overconfidence?
Now that it's out there.
You say it.
Now that it's out
And then
there.
you
The
say
worst
it.
thing about Hitler, a little
If it
narcissistic.
woke up
Yeah.
one morning and thought, am I really
Yeah.
the right guy for this?
Hey,
Yeah,
one
that's
thing, I think we could all agree that Hitler was high on his own supply.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, well, those are beautiful answers.
Hey, great job, Elijah. Thanks for coming all the way from North Carolina
Really-
to be here in person.
Really
It was great
bringing
to
the
be here
heat.
with you.
Love that.
Great to have you.
I'm sad I'm going to miss you in Nashville this week. It's very ironic.
It isn't actually, but it's something else. But sure.
Okay.
Two.
No, I mean, I guess it's a little bit ironic. You
Yeah,
came all this way to be together, and because of it, we'll be apart.
Yeah.
Two ships passing the
about that?
night.
Ooh, it's like
This is
the gift of the Magi.
Yeah, there you go.
That.
Hey, oh my God,
Okay.
spooky.
All right, that'll wrap up
It's
Terminally
spooky
Online.
season.
That's a
Thanks again. We'll
much
see you all
better note.
next week.
Much better note.
No
Yeah.
one can hear you doing the fucking idiotic, loud devil faces as I move the mic away from Dunphy.
See, right?
Somehow 12 feet
Come
from
on,
the
do
mic.
it,
and
love
so
it, love it.
fucking
Just do
loud.
it. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah. Yeah. We're all fucking.
Arms
We're
are
all.
stretched.
See,
See you
right
on
there.
Christian
Right
TikTok.
there. We're demons.